All right, a Europa League edition of Extra Time. Not quite sure what that means, but...
Well, that's really funny, that. Hold on a sec, I've got to interrupt you here.
What's that?
Well, because I always take the mickey out of Sebastian Fallada. Because he starts the show with, all right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
And you went, all right. You went, all right.
No, I didn't.
You did. Aye. You went,
Just said, all right. All right.
Right.
That's not quite a Sebi. All right. Is it?
No, it was just funny because the complete...
You're not quite Sebi
No,
in many
I mean,
ways.
we none of us can aspire to Sebi heights. But Sid Lowe is also with us. Thanks for your questions. I called it a Europa League edition of Extra Time. Mr. Gittins here. For Stevie, I expect. Would Bruges have conceded their goal against Manchester United if they had hired a throw-in coach?
That's funny.
Nice one.
That's funny right there.
By the way.
That is good.
By the way.
Hey, Mr. Gittins,
Yeah.
you got it. You won today. 1-0.
Round of applause.
I'd actually say, I don't think it would make any difference because he threw it far too hard.
Right.
Yes.
And that's exactly, I think, what the coach basically does.
Yeah.
And the technique.
Also, it was a defensive throw-in. So I don't know if the throwing coach
I think the throwing was properly
has that
executed.
under his remit.
The throwing was properly executed. However, the defender who's receiving the ball decided to go let it go past him.
Right.
What do you want me to tell you?
Right.
You're not interested, are you?
No, I am.
You've moved on.
South Decky is our next provider. To what extent on the field have you gone to defend a teammate from another team? What do you consider to be fair retribution for a cheap or dirty tackle? Have you ever got right in
See,
there?
the problem is, right, the team I played in, I can't remember. the only tackle I remember that one of our lads got done first was just, it was a Vinnie Jones challenge in the cup final, which was just completely and utterly thuggish.
Outrageous, yeah.
There's not really much you can do.
You defend your teammates no matter what. Now, you may not approve or appreciate some of the things that they may be doing, but while on the field, he's your teammate. And so you'll defend anybody blindly while on the field. Now, you get into the locker room and then you just, what are you doing? Then you have that conversation. But again, while on the field, you have one cause, and that is your team. And that's the thing that matters the most. Because I can also tell you the guys that haven't stuck up for teammates and how those guys are then looked upon in the locker room. The guys that have fight breaks out and the guys hang out over there and they don't want to get involved and whatever, those guys are usually not all that popular afterwards in the locker room.
You also have the innocent bystander who ends up getting it.
Yes.
So a lot of times, times when somebody gets done on your team or the other way around, and you can't quite get the guy who did it, so somebody else in his team ends up getting it, and they're called the innocent bystander.
There's also the
Who
one
gets it because of him.
There's also the one that when the fight actually breaks out and you have the guy who's doing this, separating, and while you're separating, you get it from the blind side. That's the one.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
You get that one too.
All right, I'm starting to get Sid into it. Actually, Sid can help with this next question as well. Mama FC, what do Stevie and Ali look forward to in the forthcoming MLS season? And we'll get Sid's thoughts on this as well. I know he's eagerly anticipating.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm sorry, Sid. Sid.
I'm an expert on MLS.
Right.
Yeah.
Sid,
Well, after your trip around the Western United States, I know you are.
hold on a minute. I've got to ask you a question here. How did you figure that the best person to go to on this question was Sid when it says, what does Stephen Ali look forward to in the forthcoming MLS
We're now 3
season?
questions into Extra Time, and I've not been able to get Sid.
You figured this was the best time to ask Sid?
It's the first one. It's the first one where you didn't have to be an ex-player to answer it. So,
Well, go ahead, Sid.
Sid.
I'm curious now.
That was the time. The stage is yours.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Los Angeles are going to win it or something.
yeah, Carlos Vela's going to lead.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Charlie Candle, he's going to be outstanding. I'm really looking forward to seeing him this year. There you go.
I know you're excited about Nashville and Inter Miami coming to the league, Sid, as well. I know you are.
Yes. Yes.
Well, actually, it'd be interesting to see what Inter Miami looks like.
Yeah.
And be interesting to see what Nashville looks like. But when you have the David Beckham name involved with anything, it's going to attract attention. So I'm curious as to what this team is going to look like, what the brand under Inter Miami is going to be like, and what kind of success they're going to be in the market, whether they're playing in Lockhart Stadium or, to be quite honest with you, can they create a market that is consistent enough in Miami? It has been a challenge in the past. Can they do it now?
Actually, one more on from Sid. Luis Suarez said, often talked about in terms of Inter Miami. Any chance that becomes a reality down the road?
Well, as you say, often talked about because it's been a long-term thing. Luis Suarez was given an offer, I think, around about 12 months ago, or at least not so much given an offer as told that this was something that they had in mind. I suspect it's something that he would be tempted to do at some point. He's aware, and he said this clearly a few times, that he's coming towards the end of his career. I think a lot might well depend on how he responds to this knee injury, how quickly he comes back and what kind of shape he comes back in. And then, of course, what Barcelona decide to do in the summer, when I think they'll try and sign Lautaro Martinez, and what that means for Luis. That said, it's taken Luis, and I really do mean this, it's taken Luis 15 years, I think, maybe, to get to Barcelona. He's wanted to go to Barcelona since he was, I think, 16 or 17 years old. And I'm not convinced, from a lifestyle point of view, that he necessarily wants to leave in a hurry.
A couple of things, Adrian.
Yep.
If you want to ask a question, you then tweet #FC Extra Time. Okay? You send in the request to ask a question.
Yeah. That includes
and just
presenters.
because you, for
felt
whatever
bad.
reason, felt like
bad.
you were not including Sid, and then you stuck him with this MLS question. It doesn't mean that you have the freedom to say whatever you want without submitting your question to #FC.
I think we're a victim of the order of the question, because there are things I could have brought Sid in.
What do you mean we?
later.
We've done it, do we?
You are the host.
You.
You are the presenter. We are merely here trying to answer questions.
So after all that, Stevie,
What?
forthcoming MLS season.
Oh my God, we're still on this. No.
Actually, we'll move on to the next one, because it is for
Dragging
you.
this one out, eh?
Okay.
Stevie, Ashwin.
Should I start asking the questions? Just let me know.
Who was the striker who gave you nightmares when you played? Ashwin wants to know.
When he coached, because when he coached, it was an obvious answer.
That Moreno fella.
Can I just switch this question around a little bit?
Yeah.
Who was the striker that annoyed me the most
Hey!
when I was coaching?
Hey!
He sat about
Hey!
half a yard away from me.
That's all it takes.
The names I used to shout at this guy here, the names I called him.
And you heard him. Clearly.
Unfortunately for him, he didn't understand broad Scottish.
You got the general gist of it, though,
I've said
I take
No,
it.
he did not. He thought I was smiling.
Yeah, I've said this story many times. I've told this story where at Gillette, you guys sit behind the boards there,
Yep.
and
you
he
run it
used to
past.
bang on the boards all the time. He used to, and I'm in the middle of the field. I can't see what's
Yeah.
going
Well,
on.
you came past once, and I was shouting at you, and I was banging the ball so you could hear it. And then you looked, you did look,
Yeah.
and then I gave you one of them.
And I thought he was
And
smiling.
he was like that. I can assure you. I was doing anything but.
You know, after that, I actually thought, this guy, Stevie, he likes me.
But it's a very important skill, isn't it, for a manager to be able to communicate effectively exactly what you really think.
Right.
Well, actually, it worked in my favour, Sid, because not only did Moreno not understand me, the fourth official and the referee didn't either. Otherwise, I'd have been back up in the
Oh, there you go.
So, fingers crossed it.
Finally, one that Sid can answer first, without any shadow of a doubt. Okay.
okay, here we go.
And it comes from Frank's silky Swiss furry curtain. Is paella the most overrated food?
Oh, wow. Okay, all right. So the answer here, I suppose, is Frank, where did you eat this paella? Because there are places that do paella, and yes, it is abysmal. But go to somewhere good, and it's brilliant.
Isn't Valencia the home of paella?
Well, you can have a paella valenciana, yes.
Yeah.
For somebody who may have
doesn't
been
make
in Spain over the last week or so, and
Were you in Spain, were you?
well, no, he was
Not in the last week.
I have to tell you, and I tasted
Yeah,
some
yeah.
of the local cuisine.
Little sample.
I sampled the paella. I have to tell you, it's not overrated.
No.
It's some sort of delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
when it's done right, paella is delicious.
Have you ever tried?
I'm trying to think if I had
Stevie?
some when I was in Madrid.
You must have done.
Well, put it this way. Nothing I ate over there was any way memorable. So I could have eaten some, or I might not have eaten some. Whatever it was, I ate. It wasn't very good.
Okay, to be fair, if we're talking paella, it doesn't include minced meat, right? Or
Said.
tatis
exactly.
or whatever.
So did you get your paella in the tapas bar? Is that where you get it?
Not in my case.
No?
No.
It's not really a tapa. No, it's not
Oh,
really
so
a
I never
tapa.
had it then.
Yeah.
No.
No, because I had the tapas nonsense one lunchtime.
It's nonsense,
And
isn't
then
it?
actually we went for dinner with Sid and a few other people. And I had a steak. Well done, of course.
So if you stuck the steak on the saffron rice,
Right.
then the paella would make sense.
That would
to you
almost
now.
count, yeah.
Didn't bother with the rice either.
Chico wants to know how your new lifestyle change is going, Stevie. Remember, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle
Yes,
change.
it's a lifestyle change. Yes, Stevie.
It's a little rocky at the present time.
Yeah, just early teething problems.
The first day was all right. I followed the plan.
That was yesterday, wasn't it? Actually, the first day.
No, the first day was Monday.
Monday.
What date's today?
Today's Thursday.
Oh, actually, no, you're 3 days in. That's deep.
Yeah, well, I lasted 2 days and then
Oh, really?
And derail?
I derailed.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we got the grandkids. The grandkids came and then, you know, when you're making them stuff and then there's stuff left over and you just kind of go like that.
Because you don't want to throw food away.
And then it just all falls apart. So it's not going well.
So the lifestyle change has
Thanks for
changed.
your interest, but it's not going that well. Well, it's not going the way it should.
Lifestyle change has changed back to, not all the way back to what it
Well,
was.
once the grandkids go home on Friday or Saturday,
Yeah.
then I'll get on the bike.
Oh, so it's a temporary reprieve, it's not?
Yeah, I'll get on the
Not a
bike. I haven't been able to
full
get on the
derailing.
bite yet.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'm
sold.
just saying, you know, remember we used to the SPI? Yeah, right? The SPI is not very high on this diet
No.
right now. The soccer power index is really saying this is highly unlikely.
It's not going well.
And in a similar vein, your personal chef has written in to say, for Stevie, I'm really mad at you. You're going on a diet. You didn't even inform your personal chef. You just snuck it in there without letting him know, apparently.
Yeah, personal chef. How many varieties of shepherd's pie does your personal chef have?
To be honest, actually, let me tell you something.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't actually, as far as food's concerned, we made lunch and
Yeah.
I basically have 2 meals a day. I don't
Breakfast is a no.
because I'm never up for breakfast. So I basically have lunch and dinner, and I don't. The stuff I eat is good stuff. You know, homemade soup,
Yeah.
and then I'll have
Wholesome.
wholesome, and then I'll have mince and vegetables.
Tatties.
Walnuts and- So that's fine. The
Right.
problem is the other stuff.
The
liquid
Can
diet.
of beer
The
and a bag
peripheral,
of crisps.
the peripheral items.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's 2 things: crisps and a can of beer. That's my problem.
Well, if it was a can of beer, it would be fine. The problem is that they multiply.
and I
Not
mean,
a can is.
I can't have a bag of crisps without having like half a dozen. And my
That's
wife
true.
just come back from Scotland and
So you
brought
get those
1,000 bags
those,
back.
Those 6-packs, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
tough
not,
to-
it's not actually the food. I actually eat okay. It's the other stuff.
I tell you, this diet has no chance. No chance. It has 0 chance.
We'll see.
100% chance of failure.
It's not the food, it's the other stuff, diet.
Right, 205. I'm 205, right?
Right.
Ask me in 2 weeks' time what I'm.
Okay.
There you go.
We will revisit.
Right.
Maybe your personal chef. Revisit it too. All right. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks, guys. We will be back tomorrow with, actually, no, Champions League or Europa League. We'll be previewing something the weekend.
I'm glad you know.
Yeah, really selling it.
I'm glad you
Bayern
know.
Munich are playing tomorrow. That's right. And Napoli.
Hey, good job, agent.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.